The U.S. sellers from the military got fed up, and one of them tried to commit suicide. Now, hey, they wasn't beating them right or nothing like that, but they had to continue on working without rest or nothing like that. So one of them got fed up, and they just decided to try to end their life or whatever whatnot. You know what I mean? Real though. So one of the other sellers say the seller that was trying to jump off the ship or whatever whatnot. You know what I mean? Real though. So yeah, I mean so let's really get into them because what they doing to these sellers or to any of the soldiers up in the military or the army is they had a pocket for that shit. And that's on bro. Anyway. Now, these three dudes end up attacking this reporter or whatever whatnot. Now I'm saying and attack the crew too. Real though. And plus they destroyed the equipment of the the news equipment or whatever whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Real though. Anyway, so yeah, it was one white dude and two white Hispanics or whatever whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Real though. And they was actually just costing some shit to happen or whatever whatnot. You know what I mean? Real though. They was driving on in some trucks and stuff like that, and you know what I'm saying, the news reporter you know what I'm saying, defended himself. He smacked one of their ass upside the head with a fucking chair. Yeah, for real though, but yeah, I mean I said, and after he did that one, the other one, got out of his truck, you know what I'm saying, took the equipment, started throwing it on the ground and shit, bust the windshield of the van and shit. Real though, it was crazy. The other one, just joined in. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because it was all three of them. You know what I'm saying? Real though, he got out of the truck, started doing some shit too. That's some crazy shit. And they got their ass up in custody right now. And I don't know what's gonna happen shit, but shit, they just try to make it seem like they looking the other way, and that's some crazy shit. They got the pocket for that shit, and that's on bro. Anyway, Stokely, you know what I'm saying, up there, try to, actually get something, to, I mean, try to bring people together and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? For real though, I mean, shit, he up there, he said, the police up there was, shooting black people for no fucking reason. For no fucking reason. For real though, I'm that's some crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? So, he up there, try to, get, you know what I'm saying, a crowd together or whatever, whatnot, you know what I'm saying? So he could, you know what I'm saying? So we could be protected or whatever, whatnot, you know what I mean? For real though, so, yeah, I mean, I can understand that, you know what I'm saying? For real though, I mean, shit, I mean, he just obviously, said his thoughts and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? About what was going on or whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? For real though, I mean, shit. Because, yeah, he go, do whatever he had to do so he can help, help him and his, brothers and sisters, protect it. You know what I'm saying? Because, there's some bullshit getting out of hand. That's on bro. Anyway, this, black family got, harassed by this woman that's from, HOA. You know what I'm saying? I think, Family Center or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Real though, it was crazy as hell. I mean, shit, that lady was on the pocket for that shit, you know what I'm saying? But, shit, she still, obviously try to, do her thing or whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Try to mess with her son because her son, touched the, branch on the tree or whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? That was some crazy shit. Gang, I mean, that shit is crazy as hell. I'm damn. That's some crazy shit. I mean, goddamn. Why the hell is she gonna, get offended because her son touching the tree in the photo? Or whatever, whatnot. And I'm talking about the woman that she, messing with or whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, his mother, like, you know what I'm saying, actually, like, just, like, you know, try to see what was going on or whatever when I, knowing this goddamn white lady up there trying to mess with her son because he touched the fucking tree in the photo. That shit crazy for real, gang. And that's on bro. Anyway, now this, like, you know, brother who was 22 years old or whatever or whatnot. Now saying he went to Greece with his white friends or whatever whatnot, and like an altercation broke out. And I'm gonna tell you why it broke out or whatever whatnot. Because the Serbian, like, you know, man, the Serbian man got jealous because this, like, you know, white shorty wanted to, like, take a selfie with this, like, you know, brother or whatever. Now, this brother name is Bacardi. You know what I'm saying? Right. Anyway, so when she took a, like, you know, selfie with this brother or whatever, the Serbian man got, like, you know, jealous as ever. Right. And next thing you know, he ended up bopping him upside the head with his fist. Berretto, he punched him right in his face. Berretto, but the brother, like, ended up, like, you know, fighting back or whatever whatnot. Then he went out the bull or whatever whatnot, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, come get this ass whooping. Berretto. Anyway, so one of them, like, you know, went out the bull, start throwing, like, bar stools at him or whatever whatnot. Know what I'm saying? And when he was up there trying to, like, you know, get away, one of them pushed him into a car, and the other one was kicking him. He kicked him like 3 times. Down when he fell on the ground, all of them jumped on him. Geraldo, they beat this man to death. Geraldo, that was some crazy stuff. Real, I mean, and they treating this like it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like nothing to be, like, you know, taken seriously or whatever. This man just died from getting beat to death. Like, really though. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, 7 of them got, like, put in jail. 1 got acquitted. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, God damn, that's some crazy shit. And they still up there trying to, like, you know what I'm saying, act like it's not nothing to be serious. I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm like, God damn, that's some crazy shit. Man, they on the pocket about that shit. Bro, no, they still, like, you know, pending that, like, investigation and shit like that. And that's some crazy shit, you know what I'm saying? Trying to bring up investigation and try to take the man back, take the man, all those men back to Serbia or whatever whatnot. So they won't have to deal with the shit. And that's some crazy shit. They on the pocket about that shit, and that's on bro. Anyway, now, this, like, you know, brother, like, end up, like, getting into, like, a car accident or whatever whatnot on the highway or whatever. And he called, like, you know, paramedics, called the police for help or whatever whatnot. He got crashed into and got stabbed right in his neck. You know what I'm saying? And the police treated him just like he was a suspect. For real though, that was some crazy shit. He ain't called for help, and they just, like, you know, start treating him like a suspect or whatever. And they end up putting this man behind bars for no reason. For real though. He is, like, you know, actually trying to stop the cop from, like, searching in his car because the cop lied and said he smelled, like, you know, he smelled weed up in the school. I'm like, that's some crazy shit. I mean, like, where's the motherfucking proof? Because, shit, I mean, like, I don't think that dude was smoking weed. How the fuck he gonna smoke some weed when he got crashed into and it got stabbed in his neck? You know what I'm saying? That's some crazy shit. Right. So he wanted to go to the hospital, but they didn't want him to go to the hospital. One of the cops lied to his ass, said, if you tell me, like, you know, what kind of injuries you got, you could, like, go ahead and drive home. You know what I'm saying? He, like, you know, couldn't even explain, like, what injury he had. He said he's not a doctor. He said what he was being arrested for. The cop wouldn't even say shit. Geraldo, I'm I'm like, that's some crazy shit, you know what I mean? Brother, they put them back into a skull part, and like you go put them in that fucking cell. For what? And like motherfucking shit was dropped. Yeah, they dropped that case because why the shit the cops was saying didn't even stand up and like motherfucking court or nothing like that. Not saying it wouldn't be no court date or whatever. Not saying real though. I mean that shit. And they had that like settle. They had to do a settlement for like $100,000. For real though. And that's on bro. But anyway, like, comment, and subscribe. If you enjoyed the video, hit the bell on notification so you see my next upload. And I'm not supposed to make sure I'm making no much tomorrow. And oh yeah, you can check out my previous videos if you like it. So long, farewell, goodbye.